a faster way to lower your blood pressure. In minutes, every 2 minutes, someone in the world dies from complications of high blood pressure. It's called the silent killer because you may feel fine, until suddenly you're not. Now imagine this. You're sitting at your desk, scrolling through your phone, head bent forward, shoulders slouched. You don't feel it immediately, but your blood pressure is quietly rising. What if I told you there's a simple natural technique that can lower your blood pressure in just 5 minutes, without medication, without fancy equipment, without waiting months for results? You'd probably think it's too good to be true. But the science is real, and today I'll show you how posture, nerves, and blood vessels in your neck and chest hold a secret that most doctors overlook. Before we go deeper, do me a favor. Like this video, share it with someone battling high blood pressure, and subscribe so you never miss out on life-changing health tips. The hidden link between posture and blood pressure. When people hear the word hypertension, the first explanations that come to mind are usually clogged arteries, too much sodium in the diet, stress, or a heart that is pumping too hard. These are indeed valid contributors, but science is beginning to reveal that there may be another overlooked culprit: our posture. The way we hold our heads, necks, and shoulders could be silently raising our blood pressure every single day. In today's world, where we spend hours bent over phones, laptops, and steering wheels, this factor has become more important than ever. Neurologists have found that posture, particularly the position of the head, has a measurable impact on blood pressure. When the head is tilted forward or downward for prolonged periods, the delicate structures in the neck, nerves, veins, and arteries, are compressed. This simple change in positioning can cause significant spikes in blood pressure. In fact, an experiment conducted at the University of Leeds demonstrated that participants who tilted their heads forward for as little as 15 minutes showed an average rise of 8 to 10 millimeters of mercury in systolic blood pressure. For someone already living with hypertension, this rise could mean the difference between being at borderline risk and entering a danger zone. By contrast, participants who maintained an upright, neutral head position saw their blood pressure remain much closer to normal levels, showing the body's remarkable sensitivity to posture. This hidden connection becomes even more obvious when we look at real-life cases. Clara, a 36-year-old software developer, is a striking example. She spent 8 to 10 hours a day hunched over her laptop, her head leaning forward and her shoulders rounded. Over time, she began experiencing chronic headaches and noticed that her blood pressure readings were creeping higher. At first, she attributed it to job stress and accepted her doctor's prescription for antihypertensive medication. Yet even with consistent use, her numbers stubbornly remained high. It wasn't until she visited a physiotherapist who carefully examined her posture that the real issue came to light. Clara was taught a set of simple stretches and posture corrections for her neck and chest muscles. To her surprise, within 6 weeks of daily practice, her blood pressure dropped from 150/95 to a much healthier 125/82. This transformation happened without altering her medication, diet, or exercise routine, only her posture. The takeaway is clear. Poor posture, especially prolonged forward head tilt, compresses the veins and nerves in the cervical region of the spine. This obstruction disrupts blood flow and forces the cardiovascular system to work harder, resulting in elevated blood pressure. We often think of posture as an aesthetic concern, about looking confident or avoiding back pain. But evidence shows it may literally be a matter of life and death, influencing the body's most vital functions. What really happens inside the body? To understand why posture has such a profound effect on blood pressure, think of the body's circulatory system as a network of plumbing. Just like water flowing through pipes, blood travels through veins and arteries with ease when everything is straight and unobstructed. But the moment you bend a pipe or squeeze it, pressure builds up behind the blockage, and the flow becomes turbulent. That is exactly what happens when poor posture disrupts circulation in the neck. When you spend long periods with your head bent forward, the vertebral veins and the surrounding nerve plexus in your neck are mechanically compressed. These veins are responsible for carrying blood out of the brain. When they are squeezed, blood outflow slows, creating a backlog of pressure in the head. This increase in intracranial pressure doesn't just stay localized. It triggers systemic responses, leading to higher blood pressure throughout the body. It is similar to a traffic jam on a major highway. When one lane is blocked, the entire flow of vehicles slows, and stress builds up across the system. In the human body, that stress translates into higher vascular pressure. What makes this particularly fascinating is that the problem often doesn't lie within the arteries themselves. Cardiologists typically focus on intravascular issues such as plaque buildup, atherosclerosis, or narrowing of arteries. But neurologists and posture researchers argue that external mechanical compression caused by tight muscles, poor head alignment, and forward neck posture can create just as much disruption. In many cases, patients show no evidence of arterial blockages, yet they continue to experience sudden spikes in blood pressure. The culprit may simply be poor posture, leading to impaired venous outflow. Scientific studies support this perspective. A 2019 review published in the Journal of Clinical Hypertension noted that external mechanical factors, including posture, cervical muscle tension, and venous outflow disturbances, can significantly affect vascular tone and blood pressure regulation. Despite this, the review highlighted that such factors are rarely addressed in traditional medical settings. Most hypertension treatments continue to focus on medication and lifestyle advice while overlooking the mechanical role of posture. This gap in understanding means that many people live with elevated blood pressure without realizing that something as simple as correcting their posture could make a measurable difference. The reality is sobering. The human body was never designed for hours of slouching in front of screens or looking down at smartphones. Yet this has become the modern lifestyle. The long-term result is a growing population silently suffering from posture-induced hypertension, something that cannot be detected by blood tests, but is painfully evident in the way blood struggles to flow through compressed neck veins. Recognizing and addressing this hidden mechanism may be the key to preventing strokes, heart attacks, and other hypertension-related complications in millions of people worldwide. The muscles you never thought affected your blood pressure. When we think of muscles, we usually imagine strength, fitness, or movement, the ability to lift, run, or perform daily tasks. Rarely do we connect muscles to blood pressure. Yet, certain muscles in the neck and chest have a surprising influence on hypertension because of their intimate relationship with the body's vascular and nervous systems. These muscles, when tense or shortened from poor posture, can press directly on the vessels and nerves that regulate blood flow, creating hidden but powerful effects on blood pressure. Take the scalene muscles, for example. These are small muscles located on the sides of your neck, running from the cervical spine to the first and second ribs. They help with breathing and head movement. But when they tighten, especially from hours of hunching over devices, they can pinch the blood vessels and nerve bundles that pass through this region. This compression reduces venous blood return to the heart and places added strain on the cardiovascular system. The sternocleidomastoid muscles, often simply called sternomastoids, are the rope-like muscles you can feel on the sides of your neck when you turn your head. They play a key role in rotation and flexion of the neck. With poor posture, particularly forward head tilt, these muscles shorten and stiffen, pulling the cervical spine out of alignment. As a result, the space available for nerves and blood vessels narrows, leading to compromised circulation and reflexive increases in vascular tone, an underappreciated contributor to hypertension. Perhaps the most surprising culprit, however, is the small pectoral muscle located beneath the chest. Though it seems unrelated to blood pressure at first glance, This muscle lies directly over the vascular nerve bundle that supplies the arm and chest. When the pectoral muscle tightens, a common issue for people who sit hunched forward at desks or steering wheels, it presses down on this bundle. The result is impaired venous blood outflow, which can cause increased intracranial pressure and trigger systemic hypertension. It is a domino effect that begins with a simple muscle contraction but ends with the cardiovascular system under stress. This is not just theory, it plays out in people's lives. James, a 45-year-old banker, had what doctors called resistant hypertension. Despite taking multiple medications, his blood pressure remained stubbornly high. For years, he assumed it was just genetics. But when he visited a sports therapist, a surprising discovery was made. His small pectoral muscles were extremely tight from decades of working long hours at a desk with rounded shoulders. The therapist introduced James to doorway stretches, guided breathing exercises, and regular massage therapy aimed at loosening these muscles. Within just 2 months, James experienced a drop in blood pressure from a dangerous 160/100 to a more manageable 138/85. What years of medication alone had failed to accomplish, simple muscle release achieved in a matter of weeks. This story highlights a crucial truth. Hypertension isn't always just about the heart or the arteries. Sometimes it begins in the muscles that silently control the flow of blood and the tension of nerves throughout the body. Addressing these often overlooked areas could be a breakthrough in managing blood pressure for millions of people. The 5-minute fix: lower your blood pressure naturally. Now that we understand the role of posture and muscles, let's look at something practical, a 5-minute routine that can naturally lower blood pressure by releasing muscle tension, improving circulation, and correcting posture. These exercises are simple, require no equipment, and can be done anywhere, from your office chair to your living room. The first technique is the neck relaxation massage. Sit comfortably in a chair, relax your shoulders, and use your fingertips to gently massage the muscles on either side of your neck. Make small circular motions, working slowly from just below the ears down toward the collarbone. This motion stimulates blood flow, eases nerve compression, and encourages venous return. For people who spend hours staring at screens, this can bring immediate relief. Next is the chin lift stretch, which restores the natural curve of your cervical spine. Push your jaw slightly forward, then slowly lift your chin upward toward the ceiling, keeping your shoulders relaxed. Hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds while breathing deeply. This movement creates more space for blood vessels and nerves at the base of the skull, reducing pressure and improving circulation. The third exercise is the scalene muscle stretch. Place one hand firmly on your collarbone to anchor the muscles, then tilt your head gently to the opposite side, feeling a light stretch along the side of your neck. Hold for 20 seconds before switching sides. This not only lengthens tight scalene muscles, but also relieves pressure on the neurovascular bundle that runs between them. Though these exercises are deceptively simple, their impact can be significant. A 2021 study published in Frontiers in Physiology found that a short session of posture correction combined with targeted neck stretches lowered systolic blood pressure by an average of 7 millimeters of mercury in participants after just one practice. To put that into perspective, a reduction of 5 millimeters of mercury in systolic blood pressure is associated with a 10% lower risk of major cardiovascular events, such as stroke or heart attack, according to the World Health Organization. For someone living with hypertension, these 5 minutes could mean the difference between dangerous pressure levels and safer, more stable readings. And unlike medication, these exercises come with no side effects, only added benefits like reduced neck stiffness, improved posture, and even fewer headaches. The truth is, managing blood pressure is not always about grand changes or expensive treatments. Sometimes it's about paying attention to the small things. like the way you hold your neck, the muscles in your chest, and the simple stretches you can perform at home. These 5 minutes could be the beginning of a healthier, longer life. Why this matters beyond blood pressure. This isn't just about numbers on a blood pressure monitor. High blood pressure is the leading risk factor for stroke, heart attack, kidney disease, and premature death worldwide. According to the World Health Organization, 1.28 billion adults globally have hypertension, and almost half don't even know it. If something as simple as correcting posture and relaxing muscles can make a difference, it means millions of people could benefit, especially those glued to screens all day with poor posture. In Japan, a community health program introduced elderly residents to daily posture and neck exercises. After 3 months, 70% reported better blood pressure control, reduced headaches, and less dependency on medication. This shows the power of small, consistent lifestyle changes. So the next time your blood pressure spikes, don't just think about salt, stress, or medication. Think posture. Think muscles. Think about how a simple 5-minute stretch could help your heart, brain, and body work in harmony. If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Like it, share it with a loved one, and comment below. Have you ever noticed your blood pressure rising when you're stressed or hunched forward? I'd love to hear your story. And of course, subscribe for more powerful health insights, because sometimes the answer isn't in the medicine cabinet, it's in the way we hold our bodies. In today's video, an entrepreneur who has invested over $2 million into understanding and reversing aging through data-driven health optimization 1. It discusses how precise measurement of biological factors, such as DNA methylation, organ-specific ages, and biomarkers, can help assess and improve health span 2. The content emphasizes that aging might not have a definitive point of no return, suggesting possibilities for reversing or slowing age-related decline, even at advanced ages 3. Key ideas include the importance of early intervention, such as embryo selection based on genetic markers to enhance longevity 4, and the impact of environmental toxins like microplastics, asbestos, and lead, which accumulate over generations and pose health risks 5. Brian advocates for proactive health management, continuous measurement, and technological advances like AI and regenerative medicine to potentially extend life significantly beyond current limits 6. The discussion also touches on societal and philosophical implications, such as future generations viewing the transition from dying to not dying as a historic milestone 7. Overall, it presents a vision of radically slowing or reversing aging through precise biological data, innovative therapies, and cultural shifts toward health and longevity.